What's the connection between the forests we preserve and the water we drink every day in our homes and with our families? To find out, we'll hear from two specialists at two ends of a water supply. First, we'll meet Stanley States, Director of Water Quality and Production for the Pittsburgh Water Authority.
This water treatment plant provides drinking water for most of the city of Pittsburgh. We probably serve about 500,000 people each day.
Then we'll go 100 miles north to Meadville, Pennsylvania to meet Darren Crabtree, Nature Conservancy biologist and manager of the Conservancy's French Creek Conservation Program.
By keeping French Creek in good shape, we're protecting the Allegheny River downstream and drinking water supplies both in French Creek and Cambridge Springs, as well as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
There's been a lot of regulatory emphasis by federal and state regulatory agencies over the last 10 to 15 years on protecting the source water. The cleaner the source water coming in, the better the product that leaves the treatment plant, and the less expensive the treatment process is. And one of the ways of improving the quality of the source water is through maintenance of forested areas along the banks of tributaries like French Creek and the Allegheny main stream itself.
So we first came to French Creek to protect the biodiversity, including a lot of the rare mussels and fish that lived here. One of the strategies that we learned would be useful for that was to protect riparian buffers and floodplains like this property that you see around you. All that I mean when I say a riparian buffer is simply to create an undisturbed area near a creek that promotes the growth of trees and other vegetation. Forests are very important to water quality because their root systems take up nutrients, they hold soil together, and they slow down the disturbances on the land like fertilizer and tractor tillage that might otherwise get into the creek.
If they weren't there, if that were cemented over because of development or if there were agricultural lands, there'd be a lot more flooding. With the agricultural lands, without a buffer, there'd be runoff of fertilizer, pesticides and herbicides, would greatly degrade the quality of the raw water that we're turning into drinking water, would increase the cost of that treatment process.
The water that's flowing through this protected land right here flows down to Pittsburgh and joins the Monongahela River to form the Ohio. The Ohio flows through many states and eventually spills into the Mississippi River, which ultimately joins the ocean. So protecting water in French Creek has some effect on protecting river throughout the Mississippi Basin and even down to the Gulf of Mexico.